Emma is a happy teacher. She lives in a small town called Millbrook. Emma loves to teach English to her students. She always has a big smile on her face. One sunny morning, Emma wakes up. She stretches her arms and yawns. "Good morning, world," she says. Emma is hungry. She wants to eat breakfast. Emma goes to her kitchen. She opens the fridge. Oh no, the fridge is empty. There is no food. Emma looks in her cupboards. They are empty too. "Oh dear," Emma says. "I forgot to buy food yesterday. What will I eat for breakfast?" Emma thinks for a minute. Then she has an idea. "I will go out for breakfast today," she says. Emma gets dressed quickly. She puts on her favorite blue dress and comfortable shoes. She takes her bag and leaves her house. The sun is shining. Birds are singing. It's a beautiful day. Emma walks down the street. She sees her neighbor, Mrs. Brown, working in her garden. "Good morning, Mrs. Brown," Emma says. "Good morning, Emma," Mrs. Brown says. "Why are you out so early?" "I'm looking for breakfast," Emma says. "I have no food at home." Mrs. Brown laughs. "Well, good luck. I hope you find something yummy to eat." "Thank you, Mrs. Brown," Emma replies. "Your flowers look beautiful today." "Oh, thank you, dear," Mrs. Brown says. "I water them every morning. Do you want some for your house?" "That's very kind of you," Emma says. "Maybe later. I'm too hungry now." Mrs. Brown nods. "Okay, Emma. Enjoy your breakfast." Emma waves goodbye and keeps walking. She looks at the shops and cafes. Most of them are closed. It's very early in the morning. As she walks, Emma sees her student Tim. He is walking his dog. "Hello, Tim." Emma calls out. "Good morning." Tim looks up and smiles. "Good morning, Miss Emma. This is my dog, Buddy." "Hello, Buddy," Emma says, patting the dog's head. "He's very cute. Are you taking him for a walk?" "Yes, Miss Emma," Tim answers. "I walk him every morning before school." "That's very responsible of you, Tim," Emma praises. "Are you ready for our English test today?" Tim nods. "Yes, Miss Emma. I studied hard." "Good job, Tim," Emma says. "I'll see you in class later. Have a nice walk." "Thank you, Miss Emma," Tim replies. "Goodbye." Emma continues her walk. She's getting hungrier. Then Emma sees something new. At the end of the street, there is a small café. The sign says The Magic Spoon. Emma has never seen this café before. That's strange, Emma thinks. Is this café new? I've never noticed it before. Emma is curious. She is also very hungry. She decides to go into the café. When Emma opens the door, a little bell rings. The café is small and cozy. It has colorful chairs and tables. The walls have funny pictures of food. Behind the counter, there is a man with a big smile. He is wearing a chef's hat. "Welcome to the Magic Spoon," he says. "I'm Chef Max. What would you like for breakfast?" Emma looks at the menu. There are many strange and interesting things to eat. She doesn't know what to choose. "I'm not sure," Emma says. "What do you suggest?" Chef Max's eyes sparkle. "How about our special? It's called the Breakfast Adventure." "Breakfast Adventure?" Emma asks. "What's that?" "It's a surprise breakfast," Chef Max says. "You don't know what you'll get until it comes to your table. It's different for everyone." Emma thinks for a moment. She usually likes to know what she's eating. But today, she feels like trying something new. "Okay," Emma says with a smile. "I'll try the Breakfast Adventure." "Great choice," Chef Max says. He starts to make Emma's breakfast. Emma sits at a table near the window. She watches as more people come into the cafe. There is an old man with a big hat. There is a mom with 2 little kids. There are some students with backpacks. The old man sits at the table next to Emma. He smiles at her. "Good morning," he says. "Is this your first time here?" Yes, it is, Emma replies. Is it your first time too? The old man chuckles. Oh no, I come here every day. The breakfast is magical. Emma is surprised. Every day. But I've never seen this cafe before. Ah, the old man says with a twinkle in his eye. The magic spoon appears when you need it most. You must have needed some magic today. Before Emma can ask more questions, Chef Max comes to her table. He has a big plate with a cover on it. Are you ready for your breakfast adventure? He asks. Emma nods. She is very hungry and curious. Chef Max lifts the cover. Emma's eyes get big. She has never seen a breakfast like this before. There are pancakes that look like rainbows. There are eggs shaped like little suns. There is fruit cut into stars and hearts. There is toast that looks like puzzle pieces. Next to the plate, there is a glass with a drink that changes colors. It goes from red to blue to green to purple. Wow, Emma says. This looks amazing. Enjoy your adventure. Chef Max says. He goes back to the kitchen. Emma doesn't know where to start. She decides to try the rainbow pancakes first. As soon as she takes a bite, something magical happens. Emma can suddenly speak French. She has never learned French before. Incroyable, Emma says, surprised to hear French words coming out of her mouth. She tries the sun-shaped eggs next. After she eats them, she can do math problems very easily in her head. Let's see, she thinks. What's 123 times 45? The answer comes to her instantly. 5,535. With each bite of her magical breakfast, Emma learns something new. The star fruits teach her about space. The puzzle toast helps her solve problems. Emma is having so much fun with her magical breakfast. She looks around the cafe. She sees that other people are having magical experiences too. The old man with the big hat is reading a book in a language he didn't know before. The mom with 2 kids is singing songs in different languages. The students are writing amazing stories in their notebooks. Emma turns to the old man. Excuse me, she says. What did your breakfast teach you today? The old man looks up from his book and smiles. Today, I learned how to speak to animals. Listen. He turns to a small bird sitting on the windowsill and makes some chirping sounds. To Emma's amazement, the bird chirps back. That's incredible, Emma exclaims. Indeed it is, the old man agrees. What about you? What did you learn? Oh, so many things. Emma says excitedly. I can speak French now and do complex math in my head. I also learned about space and problem solving. Wonderful, the old man says. You never know what gifts the magic spoon will give you. That's what makes it so special. When Emma finishes her breakfast, she feels full and happy. She has learned so many new things. Chef Max comes back to her table. How was your breakfast adventure? He asks. It was wonderful, Emma says. I learned French and math and so many other things. How is this possible? Chef Max smiles. The magic spoon helps people find the magic inside them, he says. The magic was always in you, Emma. The breakfast just helped you find it. Emma thinks about this. She feels excited to use her new knowledge. Thank you, Chef Max, Emma says. This was the best breakfast ever. Emma pays for her breakfast and gets ready to leave. As she stands up, the mom with 2 kids approaches her. Excuse me, the mom says. I couldn't help overhearing. You're a teacher, right? Yes, I am, Emma replies. I teach English. That's perfect, the mom says. My kids are learning English. Do you have any tips for them? Emma smiles. Of course. The best tip I can give is to practice every day. Read English books, watch English movies, and try to speak English as much as you can. Thank you so much, the mom says. Her kids smile shyly at Emma. You're welcome, Emma says. And remember, learning can be an adventure. Just like this magical breakfast. Emma waves goodbye to everyone and leaves the magic spoon. As she walks home, she notices that the world looks a little different now. She can read the French signs in a shop window. She can count the flowers in gardens very quickly. She understands more about the birds flying in the sky. When Emma gets home, she has a big surprise. Her kitchen is full of food. There is a note on the table. It says, "For your next adventure, from Chef Max." Emma laughs. She is happy. She can't wait to have more breakfast adventures. From that day on, Emma always remembers her magical breakfast. She tells her students about it. She teaches them that learning can be an adventure. She tells them to always be curious and to look for magic in everyday things. And of course, she always tells them to eat a good breakfast. Because you never know when your breakfast might turn into a magical learning adventure. The end.